Alright, YouTube, Coach Bogmarsh here, and this is kind of like a video response to something I saw last night. Okay, and I told the dude that I would do this, and I'm gonna post it over there to him, so he should know the context, and I think that's all that matters at this point in time. Alright, so this guy was all talking about, how people are imperfect and all that kind of stuff, and you gotta be careful about, what you say and how you say it, and, that's kind of the gist of it. And then he was talking about trusting his intuition, which, depending on how you look at things, is the same as, listening to your God, yourself, your intuition. It's all the same in my opinion, okay? So, and he posted this video on Saturday, okay? Well, in my opinion, okay, Saturday, alright, and I consider myself more spiritual than I do religious, so we'll go with that. But just to kind of base things off of, a general kind of, I wouldn't say a general consensus, but a very predominant consensus is Sunday, for some reason, is the last day of the week, and Monday is the first day of the week, which, in my opinion, is wrong. And remember, this is Cloachy Bogmarsh, and I just talked about my opinion and the way I see things, okay? So, Saturday is the day that was sat down, okay? Sunday is the day the sun rose. Day one, Sunday, okay? Just putting that into context so the story kind of makes sense. So, Sunday, 1 week from today, okay? This is the first day of a brand new week, apparently. I still think that we're missing a day, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just basing this off of, the common consensus, okay? So Sunday, 7 days ago, it was finally nice, okay? It had been raining and 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 raining. All right, and it finally got nice outside. So I was trying to work in my garden. I had already gotten some of the area cleared, but I was trying to get the last few things cleared and trying to get it tilled up a little bit and trying to level it out so I can, have a semi-decent level area. You can only do so much where I'm at, but at least without modern machinery, okay? And I'm clearing all of this dirt, and rocks, and roots, and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, because I keep seeing tons of worms, which is a good sign. All right, so tons and tons of earthworms. But I'm pulling all these roots out. All right, I'm pulling and I'm pulling and I'm pulling, and I know that in a way it's hurting the trees, okay? Now, I'm not saying that it's necessarily going to kill all of the trees that I pulled roots out of, but it's definitely, they can feel it. I don't care what you think, they can feel it. And, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, man, I feel like I've done this before in this place before, all right? And just give you a little more context, a little piece of property I got is actually shaped like a pie. And in my opinion, it's like my little slice of heaven, if you want to call it that. And that was part of the reason why I got it. It's maybe not the most economical for what I want to do with it, but I feel like in time and through hard work, I can make this piece of land what I want. Alright? So, I'm tilling this up and I'm pulling all these roots, and, I'm thinking to myself, alright, that, hold on, let me show you something real quick before I go too much further. Alright, I don't know if I've showed this to YouTube yet. Hold on real quick. I just want to show you that that's like, it's 2 moles. I was born with that. That's on my left arm, okay? So, hold on just a second. I'm driving here also, if you can't tell. All right, so, you know, where I'm at, there's at least 4 types of poisonous snakes, okay? And I know that snakes, there are some species of snakes, venomous and non-venomous, that live solely underground. All right, cave systems. Some of them, you know, mill their way through dirt, kind of like moles and stuff like that. You can look it up. They're not very common, but they do exist. But I'm pulling these roots and I'm seeing these worms, and I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if venomous snakes, all right, came about because of humans working the planet in such a way and making the planet feel threatened that it had to create something that it could use to defend itself, that it could show humans that we, you know, as smart and as, you know, predominant as we are, you know, we are not the top of the food chain on this planet. I don't care what you say. It's the planet. There is nothing in the world, in the earthly world, that is higher than us, than the planet itself. The planet giveth and taketh away. Okay, that's what it was created for, right? And, you know, if you want to base it off the common consensus, like I said at the beginning, I'm spiritual. I wouldn't call myself religious, but I am definitely spiritual, and that's all that matters to me. But because I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I feel like I've done this before in this exact place. This seems, it's tough, you know, and my arms are still killing me. Like, you just don't even understand how bad this is, like, destroying my elbows, but that's a different thing. But I just feel like I've done this before. Alright, well, you know, it's real nice outside, and I've been going at it for like 4 or 5 hours or something like that, just kind of trying to till this dirt up and pull roots and, you know, big rocks and stuff like that out of the ground. Alright, and, you know, my dogs have been being real good this day, and, you know, they've just been kind of laying around in the sun, and they were starting to get a little antsy, and I was like, okay, let's take a break for a little bit, and let's go walk around. Alright, well, we went and walked around for a little bit, went down to the pond and walked around the pond, and I threw the stick into the water for the dog a couple of times. You know, I only got one that won't go out there, and then one that wants to stand at the shore and take the stick and then act like she did all the work. But yeah, it's cute, by the way. But you know, we went walking around and stuff like that. Well, the following day, which I think we're technically missing a day, but that's just me, and I have my reasonings behind it. But on Monday, my building was supposed to be getting delivered, my new little tiny home that I ordered. And so there's this one little section of road that was holding water. Alright, so I was like, alright, you know, I got a good progress for the most part done on my little garden area. I'm going to try and get this water cleaned out so I can, you know, put down a couple of little spruce bundles and stuff like that, just to give the guy a little extra traction when he comes out here and let it dry up and everything like that. So, which I wound up killing a little frog habitat. I probably killed a few thousand frog eggs, which, you know, I didn't know they were there, but I couldn't do anything about it. But I, you know, I got all the water drained out and stuff like that, and I was working on it. And, you know, it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I haven't eaten anything that whole day. I hadn't eaten since the night before. And my stomach was finally starting to growl. And I told myself a couple of times I needed to stop and just get a little something to munch on. So I, would have some extra energy and stuff. And I kept pushing past it because I'm like, I'm really just not that hungry. And times are weird right now, and I need to try to conserve what I have and stuff like that. So I, finally, my stomach started growling, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go and make me something to eat here. And got up, was going to make something, turned around, I heard a little mouse, all right, squeaking. And I seen it come darting through the little briar bramble area where, there's some berries and some briar and some shrub oak and, stuff like that. And I looked down, and lo and behold, there's about a 6-foot black garden snake laying in the bush. And that mouse that it came running across, it had just eaten one of its babies, or eaten its baby. And was kind of baking in the sun a little bit. Alright, so what I did is I proceeded, because I was hungry and I knew my dogs were hungry, and I feel like at a certain point in our life and our history, humans were products of opportunity. Alright, when you found it, you did what you could to, hold on just a second, turn my heater down a little bit, it's getting kind of warm in here. You do what you gotta do to survive. Alright, so I proceeded to try and kill this snake. It wasn't venomous, but I didn't want to get bit by it, because some snakes have enzymes in their saliva that are harmful to you, if you didn't know that can cause an infection. It won't hurt you like a venomous snake will. And venomous is different than poisonous, okay? Just so you know. So this snake climbs a tree, and he's trying to act all big and bad, and I pop him across the head with the shovel a couple of times, knock him out of the tree, and I cut his head off. Alright? And I skinned the thing, and I'm cooking it over the fire a little bit, and I smoke it for a little bit, and then I throw it in some oil, and I just pan fry it up a little bit. Well, there wasn't a whole lot of meat on it. I ate a little bit of it, but I wound up really giving it to my dogs, because they seemed like they were wanting it more than I did. So I I fed the snake to my dogs. But I just found it funny that pretty much all morning I had been contemplating, how snakes were originally created, what was the purpose behind them, and this is something I've been trying to talk to my dad a little bit about, and that is what it is, I guess. But we're just talking about it, and I'm thinking about it, and there it was. And it was almost like it was meant to be, So when I guess to wrap this up and put the bow on it, the moral of the story is I don't think it matters who you are, what you do. You should always trust your intuition, no matter what, because your intuition is something that's coming from a higher spiritual place. No matter how you look at the world, no matter what faith you are, what religion you are, what culture you are, what race you are, what language you speak, what part of the world you live in, always, always, always trust your intuition. Alright? And as always, this is Cloachy Bogmarsh out, and I love you, motherfuckers.